No way, that's too hard. Man, but I've been training for 2 years, 6 months, training for 5 years. Man, it's so unfair. I've been training for ages and I just don't have the physique I want to have. All right, sometimes you might ask questions to yourself when you start training, or if you've been training for a while, why don't I look a certain way yet? Some people always go to the point where they go, man, but I've been training for 2 years, 6 months, training for 5 years. Look, it's not a point of how long do you have to train in order to look a certain way. You can't really gauge that because there's too many variables. You know, how do you train in the first place? How's your technique, nutrition, your dedication, your consistency? And are you comparing yourself with somebody that has been training for, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 times longer than you have? Are you still in the same sort of like training mentality? And so like when people always go, I find I get like a lot, and they go, man, it's so unfair. I've been training for ages and I just don't have the physique I want to have, or I don't look the way I look. It's like, well, stop comparing yourself with somebody else or with an image of somebody else. You should be comparing yourself with yourself. You should be comparing yourself with how you looked yesterday and how you look today, and how you are planning in terms of envisioning what body parts do you want to emphasize on and how you're going to, really develop those. And so what I'm trying to say is your training is very similar to, check this out over here. Look at that one. So see how you can't really see the end properly? You can't see the end because there is no end. You just train and you dedicate this as a lifestyle. It's something that you're just gonna keep doing. And it's not to the point that you're trying to achieve a certain physique in general, like to compare to somebody else's physique. It's to compare against your own. And the reason why I say look down that road or down that street and you can't see the end is because you're not supposed to be able to see the end, right? Because you don't even know what you're gonna look like at the end of it. It's more about how do you look now and how did you look yesterday? That's going to determine how you're going to keep looking tomorrow, because it's all about consistency and it's all about being in it for the long haul, the marathon, that real, big idea of I'm doing this because it's a part of me and it's going to be a part of my life that's going to give me the ability to have a fitter, healthier, happier life with yourself and how you present yourself and how you feel at the end of the day. That's what it's about. So the message I want to get across is, like, stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop thinking that you need to look or have a certain physique, especially if you've just started out, for the first week, for the first month, for the first 3 years, heck, even for the first 5 years, because it takes time to get to a body. When I first started training, I first started lifting weights when I was 11. I never envisioned to have the physique I have today. And I'm not saying I've got the best body in the world, but I'm just saying if you were to compare me back then to now, or even 10 years ago or even like 8 years ago, at that point, even if you compare it to back then and go, well, how did I look then to now? The comparison there is so intense in terms of I would never envision the way I look today back then. If you asked me and said, hey, you're gonna have this physique, or this body, or you're going to be able to lift this much weight, or do these things, or train this certain style, or have this knowledge, I would have laughed, or I would have been like, no way, that's too hard, or that's, because it's happened over a period of time, like slowly. And so that's what you got to keep your mind on. You got to always remember that it's not about how you're gonna look, it's about what direction you're heading into, how you previously looked, yesterday and the week before and the year before, and just making sure you keep moving ahead to try and better yourself. All right. Boom.
Somewhere by the Emerald Sea, where the moon and water meet.
Man, but I've been training for 2 years, 6 months, training for 5 years. There's too many variables. How do you train in the first place? How's your technique, nutrition, your dedication, your consistency, the ability to have a fitter, healthier, happier life? Check this out. You can't see the end because there is no end.